Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday afternoon, March 22nd. We are looking at the ETFs market profiles here on Window Trader. Interesting day. I had a good day today. I had a lot of stress on one trade that I'll go over with you. I'm not proud of it. I ended up making, believe it or not, pennies, but the risk reward at the time was poor. If I held on to it, it would have been a home run trade, but I did make money on it. These days, I hate these type days, these grinds up. They're tedious for me. I did stay out of trouble most of the time. I didn't start the trade I'm talking about until I think it was, J period, JK. So I'll go over that in a minute. Let's go over the other indices first. First and foremost, here's the Russell. Basically never saw the opening again. It looked like they were forming a B shape. They take out the IB low, never take it out again. They certainly rallied a lot more than I thought they would. I was looking for an afternoon rally high. They got it, but they got it in L. I never thought we would really get much above between B's high and half back, but they did. So kind of an ugly B shape, if you want to call it that. So they go out 8 wide. They have an afternoon rally high in L and the day's high and the day's low. They had a huge sell tail. They did eat into it pretty good, but it's still over 100 ticks, about 130, 40 ticks. Triple Q started out this day like a bat out of hell. Open and drive up, didn't look back. They had single prints in C. They had single prints in D, F, G. Meanwhile, they end up with only one set of single prints in C that hold and never took out the day's high after G. They end up going 7 wide. We did a better job as they just found two-sided trade, and then all these buyers up here, when they finally stopped the one-time framing up again in K, flushed it out in L and M. As far as we're concerned, I didn't call it an open and drive because we did open and drive up, but we actually came back and went below the opening by about 3 or 4 cents. So whatever you want to call it, open and drive, open and test drive. We never saw it again, that's for sure. We went back and forth through Friday's high in 3 time frames, never saw it. We had a chance for 6 single prints. That's a lot. And we only end with 1. So, kind of a P shape here, kind of a P shape here. But yes, the trend days held, but the buyers certainly didn't get. The tempo was horrible all day. We got to very visual areas, both us and the ES. We got to A's low where change took place from the 18th, got rejected. ES got to their POC from the 18th because, again, we have the dividend that makes us lower and have a weak high against that and got pushed back. So what did I do today? Well, I started with a short in A period, basically against the overnight high and the POC. I traded today's expirations, except for one trade I'll get to. I did the 392 puts. It took out the overnight high. It took out the POC, but didn't get much initially, and it came right back down. I should have held it longer than I did. It was a very good trade, and then that's when we came down and actually went below the opening again. And then I did it again against Friday's high in A period. B period open, took out A's high. I actually added to it, and I was actually short. I had 100 puts I was short. B took out Friday's high, but came right back in. And that was a pretty good trade I had on that one. Then I went long in B period. So after I got out of that trade, B went back up again. I got long. I'm like, against A's high, let's see if the single prints hold. They didn't, but I still held on to them. C open, took out B's high, went up on 389 calls. I did well. So my first 3 trades of the day I did very well. Then F came. I took a short with no tempo in F when we took out E's high, 394 puts, but it never came back in. Finally put it to bed. Lost money on that. H period, same thing. We took out G's low. I didn't get involved right away. Like they should fill these singles. But I started a short at F's high when it went back up. Never came back in. Kept hanging. Took that off for a loss. So I still up on the day. I'm still up on the day. Because I had a very good, that second short 100 put play was good in A period. Then this is where I got into a lot of trouble that I had to work myself out of. So J takes out I's high, not getting tempo. I had a 30 lot. I'm like, okay. started going up. We started getting to where the single prints were. Remember, I still had my singles to fill. I'm like, okay, if they fill them, let's see what happens. Well, not to make this long, I got up to 265 puts at L's high, K and L. Now, well, let me rephrase that. Before L started, K started coming in. I started taking some off. I wasn't in bad shape. I was at about $3,000 on that trade. Came in, L started, popped the top. I had only about 90 left at that time. I didn't need much. Once L popped K and came in, I was like, I got to add back. I didn't. I rode the 90 down. We took out K's low, started coming in a bit, rode them down. I ended up making, shame on me for 2 reasons. Well, no, for 3 reasons. That trade never should have happened. That's an innovator trade, my friends. Now, I didn't short it at B's high and ride it all the way up, getting punched in the face. I did it when we were having singles that we didn't have big ranges in J and K. I'm like, we could have a reversal bar, which we did, by the way, which got me all my money back and a little more. But initially, that trade was not a good trade, okay, because it was an innovator trade. But then when L popped the top, came back in, and I told the room, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a reversal bar. Should have added on there because that's what we did. Net, I used a lot of mental reserve to go from down 3,000 to make about $150 on the trade. And meanwhile, if I had held it, we could have made a lot more. But whatever, that's fine. And then I took one long in M period. M came down, filled the singles. I said I'm going to take a long play against F. I took the 3. I traded Mondays, 391 calls, bought 30 of them, made a quick between 8 and 15 cents on 30 of them to end the day. So it turned out to be a decent day. Used up a lot of mental reserve, but it turned out to be a decent day. Okay. Destinations for tomorrow. Now, tomorrow we should get some major chopping here with some consolidation, I would think. Upside for tomorrow will be, because there's not much here. So they have us closing at 392.59. First destination on the upside is today's high, 394.07. So $1.50 away to the upside. First, and then we have 396.13, my afternoon rally high from the 18th, and 396.72 daily high. For the downside, we don't have anything. Again, they have us closing. I totally forgot what I just said. 392.59. First destination on the downside is our single prints. 391.85 get filled at 71. So only 14 little cents of single prints out of 6 sets remain. Then we don't have anything to today's low of 389.97. So that's $2 lower. And then we don't have anything to the weekly low of 387.15. So again, destinations far and wide apart. Is all this was week longs getting out and maybe shorts attempting to pile on a little bit? I think that's all that was. Remains to be seen tomorrow, obviously. But for now, I think that's all we were looking at. Now, if we go and open tomorrow and take out M's low and fill the single prints, we don't want to take out today's low, that's for sure. We finally got back in balance on the daily. And then on the charts, we'll just look at SPYs, weekly and daily. Weekly, like I said, I'm calling it one-time framing up. A lot of people can call it balance or balance up. I'm calling it up. I'm giving them their due. And then on the daily, the big thing that all of us did, except, no, we didn't. The Russell didn't. I'm sorry. The triple Qs and SPY did stop the one-time framing down in the daily. So I would call this a 3-day balance. I would use Thursday's high as my high, Friday's low as my low. Triple Q stopped, but as you can see, here's the Russell. I'm sorry. Russell did not. In fact, Russell has an inside day. So that should be interesting tomorrow. You come out of it to the upside, you go with it and monitor continuation or lack of. Same on the downside. I hope you had a good day trading today. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.